Good evening, everybody. So tonight I'll be talking about the global warming, how humans are the main factor contributing with global warming. Earth over the past century, with particular rapid heating over the past few decades, different regions have had different variations such as warmer weather. During the 20th century, sea level rose an average of 7 inches after 2,000 years of little change. From all this information, I am claiming that humans are the primary way that cause global warming. By burning fossil fuels and other sources, people never tend to harm Earth, yet they do not realize the damage they can cause. Transportation, such as cars, buses, and airplanes, cause a major contribution with burning fossil fuels. Farmers as well cause different sources of greenhouse gases, such as cutting down trees to grow more crops, which means they'll have to burn down trees and release the gases. Researchers from NASA claims that over the last century, the burning of fossil fuels like oil has increased the concentration of the atmosphere. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United States, 25 and 30% of the greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere each year is caused by deforestation. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, greenhouse gases emissions account for 47% of the net increase in total U.S. emissions. Our Earth has the ability to restore itself, but since we release so many gases, it cannot restore itself, and that's why we're not helping the Earth at all. And by this, I'll close down by saying that we are the main reason why Earth is the way it is today.
Right at the beginning, the speech, it sounds like you're phrasing your claim as an informative question, although as you get into it, you do finally state more explicitly a claim of fact. So that helps, and we know what the argument is. And at the end of the speech, you kind of recap that claim of fact, so that helps focus the argument a little bit more. There's not really a setup of what the secondary issues are going to be. Information is coming out and it's being randomly presented. There's not a series of inferences that are advancing this claim. It's just random pieces of evidence that are being strung together to support this conclusion. And I don't know that they always support the notion that it's human activity that has produced this imbalance. You definitely show that human activity has produced an increase in CO2, but you haven't shown that the increase in CO2 is exclusively or even preponderantly created by human activity. The one piece of data that you have that makes such a suggestion is that the U.S. Department of Agriculture claims that 30% of the CO2 that we have comes from deforestation. Okay, that's particular about human contributions, but it doesn't talk about whether or not any of that is traceable to the change in global temperatures that we're talking about. You've kept everything at a very abstract level here, and I think that the argument needs a lot more clarity, because the controversy on this has to do with whether or not these measurements are accurate, whether or not the measurements test the thing that they really supposedly test, whether or not there are other factors that might better explain changes in global temperature. At one point you did suggest that there's a point past which the Earth will not be able to repair itself, but I didn't have any data on that. There's no reason to believe that. The truth of the matter is that I have a hard time believing that the Earth won't be able to repair itself. It's us that's going to suffer. It's not the planet. The planet will be around long after we're gone. It'll just be a different planet. The question is whether or not the global warming is going to have an effect on human beings and their activities, and that's where I think there's some controversy here. Everything that you're doing involves reading, and there's not really any audience contact. That hurts your credibility. It seems like you need to develop a stronger structure, practice it a little bit more, and try and connect with the audience to make this work more effectively. Thank you.